Hello and welcome to the Social Justice Conference. My name is Taylor Thomas, and for this conference theme, I wanted to explore the issue of police brutality in America and why it keeps happening and how to possibly lower the proportion of people killed by police, especially in the African American community. So, since February, the Black Lives Matter movement has gained a lot of traction across the nation, worldwide. And this summer, protest sparked because of George Floyd's death that was caught on camera. And with the new digital age, many situations like George Floyd's have been caught on camera and posted on the internet for the world to see, which fortunately has sparked a much overdue and very important discourse surrounding police brutality in America, law enforcement, and race. So, the facts and statistics seen on this slide are kind of some about Black people and law enforcement in America. I'd like to preface these statistics by saying that these were gathered from mappingpoliceviolence.org, which is a website that gets their facts from comprehensive and impartial databases surrounding police violence. And while this data suggests enough of a systemic racial problem for me and many others, just due to my bias, this situation, it doesn't technically prove that the law enforcement is racially motivated in America, just because, gathering the statistics may be biased, and there's a lot more evidence needed to 100% say that there is that law enforcement is racially motivated. And the debate and controversy about law enforcement and whether it's systemically racist has caused a lot of protest across the nation. So, as you can see pictured on this slide, one of these pictures I actually took. It's in front of the Atlanta Governor's Mansion, which is a protest that I attended, peaceful protest that I attended this summer with my friends as well. And while most of the protests organized by the Black Lives Matter movement has been peaceful, some were plagued with rioters and looters. And even though the rioting and looting was not condoned at all by Black Lives Matter movement, this kind of gave people who kind of deny police brutality as an issue a reason to not support Black Lives Matter movement. And so also at these protests, the peaceful protests even, police were caught on camera, beating protesters for no apparent reason, spraying tear gas, and, driving vehicles into crowds, which kind of escalated a portion of the population's outrage against the police. So, in combination with the violence against Black people and peaceful protest, it kind of led to the uptake of the slogan, abolish the police or defund the police. And while defunding the police and abolishing the police sound rather radical, I think it's just more of a slogan with lesser radical intentions to kind of bring light to the issue with law enforcement in America and kind of start a debate about that. So on this slide, I have results from my survey where I asked my classmates their opinions on defund the police, and a general consensus was that the statement is kind of misleading, but some agree with the general premise that there needs to be some type of change within our law enforcement. Others disagree. So, in terms of evidence-based solutions, they're kind of hard to find since it's hard to get knowledge on what would work within our long-standing traditional law enforcement, what wouldn't work. But through my research, I've kind of gathered some possible solutions that could lower the proportion of Black Americans who are killed by the police. Number one, reallocating a portion of the budget to other departments like public education, healthcare, which would just be overall beneficial for the general community, especially the Black community. Number two, stricter laws on the amount of force that's able to be used by the police department. So right now, according to the police department and their training, the amount of force that they're able to use is however much they think is necessary to gain compliance from an unwilling subject. And the issue with that is that it kind of allows the bad apples to, use their badges to kind of work for their own racist agendas. And while that's not the case for all police officers, I think it's dangerous to kind of leave the amount of force used up to police officers' discretion. NGOs to mobilize against police violence, just to keep police departments accountable, and kind of make sure that these events that are not caught on camera are also accounted for. Recruiting more women. Women is based on some stats. Men are 3 times more likely to shoot their weapons in lower situations than women. And the last and most important, I think, is unshielding police from the law. When they do kill someone unjustly, I think that they need to be subject to capital punishment, just like civilians, just to get rid of all the bad apples that we talk about in the media. So thank you for coming and listening, and have a good one.